It's the 2K Sports Pre-Game Show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Golden State Warriors at Oracle Arena. And for Golden State, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. Tonight, two teams that crash the glass. Kenny, when you think of the great rebounders in this league, what are some of their key attributes?
Oh, they get that position, and then they hold it. They maintain it. That's the key.
Maintaining the position.
Yes, because you can get pushed under. And if you come down with the rebound yourself, you can't do it, let's say, just tip it out. Great rebounders do that too. They'll just tip it out to the guards, and then we can start the fast break.
What's the key to good rebounding?
You got to assume every shot is going to be missed. And, Ernie, nothing replaces great hustle.
Oh, that's true. That is so true.
I could box you out.
I know you
I would
could.
keep you off the glass.
Oh, no question.
Yeah. Kevin Harlan standing by.
You and your 6 rings.
There you go again.
Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Magic in this one. Thanks for joining us as we get set to bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And joining us tonight, a man who once said he will never write another traditional sports column. Please don't say that. So, Bill Simmons, don't say that.
Well, now you just have to tweet. You need 280 characters, and you can pretend you're a writer.
What do you think of social media?
I actually think for basketball, it's been a huge advantage. And it hasn't been a huge advantage for a lot of other things, but I think it's made basketball a lot more fun. I do worry, though, sometimes that people are just watching their Twitter feed over the games. I still think there's an advantage for people who actually are watching what's going on versus watching people's reactions to what's going on.
Interesting. The Warriors with their last game here in Golden State before heading out on the road. What a story right now for these guys. Win after win. It's been a phenomenal stretch.
Well, this team is a lot of fun to watch. Everything seems to be going their way. But listen, they're making their own breaks now. They're taking advantage of situations and opportunities, and they're doing everything right on both ends of the floor.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, DeMarcus Cousins was en route to finally playing in the postseason, but he did suffer that torn Achilles, and that kept him from the playoffs. He said, to be able to reach that goal, that would be one of the more special moments of my career. Well, Kevin, he continues to wait.
Well, a lot of people hope he can finally get there, D.A. Thank you. Kevin Durant, an MVP, multiple championships, but he continues to add new wrinkles to his game and takes pride in that part of his game.
Yeah, last year was the two-way play and the defense in the first 2.5 months of the year. They faded off. That whole team, I think, got tired. I asked some of the Warriors about it last year, just why they get tired when, it wasn't like 17 was that grueling. They kind of rolled through the league. But I think it's just day-to-day, the bullseye being in the spotlight, every arena you go to.
Best punch every game.
Yeah, you're on in Charlotte. It's the highlight of Charlotte's season to play you, and I think it does wear those guys down. I think the next step with him would be, can he evolve into a stretch 5? What could he be, Al Horford, basically, and take all the Draymond minutes when Draymond's not playing and just be the other 5?
How many stretch 5s are in the NBA? Can you count them on one hand, or think of them?
It's the Al Horford, and there's not many. But, a 7-foot guy who's one of the best, 8 shooters of all time is your stretch 5.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Can Jokic shoot the 3? He can kind of.
Yeah.
He's got an outside shot, doesn't he?
Unfortunately, Jokic stretches the other team's point total when he's out there. So he's a stretch the other team's total to 120 defender.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Orlando. Inside, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier and Ross, they're the wings. And it's Augustine in at the point. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. And Fournier kicks to Ross. Here's Vucevic. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
You love it when a big man has those soft hands. Rarely any problem converting that close to the rim.
Here's Thompson. Puts the fadeaway right on the money.
This shot certainly in Thompson's arsenal. I mean, he keeps the defense guessing.
Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a 3. He's got the pull-up hezzy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
Here's Thompson after the made shot from Nikola Vucevic. The 3, and Thompson is good for 3. Thompson's got 5 now.
Oh, that's just a good decision right there by Clay. Gets a little space, takes it himself.
Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top 5?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're going to stop him, but, you know, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense scorer I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just, you forget about it from one play, and all of a sudden he's in the corner and they're setting him up, or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, yeah, you run them off screens and you tire the guys out and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get out of my way, guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
Inside, Cousins. Vucevic with the block, and he's able to get it back.
And just a remarkable shot fake from Cousins. He really keeps the defense nervous when he has the rock.
The Warriors shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
Well, you challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Here's Vucevic following the basket by Stephen Curry. Vucevic, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And here's Curry, who brings it up for Golden State. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
You're going to win a lot of games when you can shoot the 3 ball the way they did in that one.
Oh, yeah. Once they started hitting, it was like an avalanche, even as the defense extended farther and farther out.
It's stolen by Curry. Now the Warriors moving it up. Curry's got the ball. Chalk up 2 there. Curry's got his second basket of the game.
The awareness of everything around him. Curry picks it clean, then off to the races.
I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people and being in front of people, and they're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble, and they're comfortable.
Plus, they've kind of grown up with you, though, too. You know what? You've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. They might not have read me, but they remember like that year I was with Jalen Rose. But what's weird is...
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, you know this too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true, yeah. I think it's like, oh, he's on TV, he's okay. And maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you've passed some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%.
2K. This is it. I'm stamping you right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Here's Augustine. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist totals show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was.
And that one is good. 8 points for Vucevic.
Nice work to get in position for the rebound and the putback. He has no off switch.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Pass to Durant. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession. The chemistry of this Warriors team so special, Bill. Klay Thompson's unselfishness and the fact that he just lets the game come to him, a big part of that.
Super unselfish, doesn't care about his shots. A beloved teammate by all counts. He's the guy that all the other guys mention first when they talk about, hey, what warrior, ... and it's Klay. The answer is Klay to everything. Who's the most fun warrior? Who's the craziest warrior? Tell me a funny story about one of your teammates. It's always Klay. He just has so many thankless jobs for them. A lot of times he's guarding the best player on the other team. He's guarded point guards at some point during every run in the playoffs for them. And just a great guy to have on your team. It's hard to imagine the Warriors without him. I think at some point maybe the salary cap will dictate they can't keep all four of these guys, and Klay is always the logical candidate to, you trade him, you turn him into two cheaper, younger pieces. But I'd
hate to see him leave there, though.
Well, and leave Curry, because the thing with him and Curry together, it's been such a unique combo to have two of the best three shooters in the league on the same team.
Yes.
Their stats now together are starting to just crush everything. Like, they've made more threes than any other player in the playoff history.
Amazing. Oh, my
They've
God.
made, 600, 700 threes a year, and they're just doing things together that we've never seen. I hope they stay together.
Me too. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean
talk
that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him at all times.
Yeah, fellas, he's a monster. He's never seen an offensive rebound he didn't think he could get to.
And the turnover again by Orlando.
And a chance here to check out some stats on Steph Curry. A wonderful string of games he's put together here lately. 10th in assists, 11th in three-point field goal percentage, and he sits in the top 15 in points per game. An absolute powerhouse offensively.
And his floor awareness is undeniable. As you pointed out, top 10 in assists, and he's great at drawing the defense and making the perfect pass in stride. Now, here's Cousins. A 20-point game for him in the win against Sacramento.
Oh, well, his rebounding stood out, too. He gave them a big lift on the boards.
Thompson against Simmons. And Thompson kicks to Cousins. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Golden State needs to get off a shot. It's stolen by Vucevic. Now, here's Grant. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Got a piece of it and stolen by Gordon. Here's Grant taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. It's stolen by Curry. Pass to Cousins. Takes the three. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field. Now we've seen some top prospects forego college, enter the G League straight out of high school. What do you think is the future of the G League, and do you like where it sits right now?
I do. I wish they spent more money on salaries.
I agree.
I wish they blew it out. I mean, I think this is the first year we've had 30 G League teams. This should be the #1 place you'd want to go after high school. You should not want to go to college. You should want to go to a AAA awesome league that's set up.
And they're bringing kids up and down off that G League roster all the time.
It's just better, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed as a professional basketball player. You see the situation we're in now with the one-and-done guys. They go to college. They show up in September. They're playing all the way through till March. Whenever they get knocked out, they drop out of college. And they might last, till round 2 in the tournament, which is March 20th?
Right.
And they're out. So they've been in college for 6.5 months. How's that a good system? They didn't even finish 2 semesters. So I would much rather see the G League work, and I don't understand why they don't spend a little more on it and just make it like a force. I don't think the moves are that hard.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Jordan Bell's checked in for Durant. Livingston comes in for Thompson. And Quinn Cook subbed in for Steph Curry. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And the Warriors with possession here. Cook looking it over. 5 on the clock. From deep three-point range, it's hauled in by the Magic. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
And typically on the road, it's harder to get into a great rhythm offensively, but they did just that.
Well, extremely accurate throughout the evening, I thought. The play calling really fit the lineups they were rolling out.
Now here's Simmons. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. And it's Gordon missing.
He hasn't been his best this quarter.
Iguodala finds Livingston. Cousins with it. Guarded by Simmons. And stolen by Simmons. And here they go. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Yeah, and even though Bamba's going to have to add muscle, he's strong enough to power that one through the contact.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
And that one misses. Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is gathering for a play-in tournament, maybe for the last 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 2007. I called it the Entertaining as Hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination. And then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is you have the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference, and then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10. You have 8 versus 9. You do it over the course of a couple days. You use the TV revenue from that because you could get good money from that to maybe shorten the season.
Shooting 2.
Great idea.
Would be, for me, the #1 thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70-game season. You could talk me into 76, but there's too many games. There's too many nights where the players... I just think basketball is really hard to play.
We were talking about the length of the NBA season and various opinions on shortening it. I suppose, Bill, one argument is that you want regular season games to be more significant. And you want that regular season to mean something every night.
Mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
Make the pace I don't know. When you get after the All-Star break, you can really feel these guys slogging through it. You know, and especially with the good teams, like a team like Golden State, all they did all year was whine and complain. Oh, well, we knew this was going to be a hard season. It can't be that hard. You have 4 of the best 20 players. Like, settle down. I think you'll be fine. You're winning every game by 30 points.
Yeah.
But I wish they would tighten the season.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Here is Cook. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Iguodala, the pass to Cousins. Kicks to Bell. Some nice passing by Golden State here. 6 to shoot. Livingston with it. Simmons is there. And the shot goes in.
Oh, and this is where Livingston makes his money. Tremendous mid-range game.
Out to the wing. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The Magic have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
And that one falls for Bamba.
You know, the comparisons to Rudy Gobert are understandable. Bamba's insane reach really helps on both ends of the court.
And so he makes both from the line. 24 seconds left to play in the first. Here is Cook. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Just 5 on the clock. He kicks it to Cousins. Shoots over Bamba. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. It's a tie game here in Oakland. And we'll be back with you right after this. The arrival certainly of Kevin Durant fortified an already great Warriors team. Teammate Steph Curry spoke about what KD brings to the table.
Gives us a different dynamic that we can count on. He's obviously an all-world talent that does things on the court that not many people can do. You know, he's hungry, just like the rest of us, to get to that stage again and get back on top.
You know, Greg, KD and Steph are a lethal combination for sure, nearly impossible to guard.
I mean, both former MVPs, and with the talent surrounding them, a chance to make history.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And taking a look at the Warriors' performance here, guys, what are your thoughts?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Well, it's all about the rim protection because it's been fantastic. A big part of helping them build this early lead.
On the court for Orlando, Gordon down low with Bamba next to him. Grant is out there with Simmons. And it's Isaac in at the small forward position. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. Bill, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were? And what do they think the Shaq, Kobe Lakers were? And this is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. They did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming, the summer of 2016. We knew the cap was going to jump. And they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team. He wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
He doesn't get the second one. And, Bill, we were discussing how teams are constructed in recent years. You know, the changes in 2016 to cap space. How Kevin Durant landed with the Warriors.
I see the analogy that, it's like stacking a pickup game and just grabbing the best 4 guys and just beating people on a pickup court for 4 hours. But that's the thing. The league isn't a pickup game. The league, everyone operates by the same rules. And the Warriors,
everybody had a shot at him.
Everyone had a shot. The Celtics had a shot. He didn't even want to interview with the Lakers. The Knicks had cap space. They didn't have a chance. The Wizards had cap space. He was from Maryland. They didn't want to go there. So, I think the Warriors should get a little more credit for how smart they were with everything.
Here's Cousins after Jaren Grant's bucket. Back to Cousins. The 3. The shot, no good. And Orlando will come the other way.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Grant surveying the D. Here's Isaac. And he uses the glass on the layup. Isaac's got the lead up to 4 now for the Magic. Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, it turns out,
they embraced the
size.
I
think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they want to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Wilt Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Wilt Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
Now here's Iguodala, following the miss by Aaron Gordon. Here's Livingston, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And here's what the schedule for Orlando looks like. On Wednesday, they'll go up against C.J. McCollum and the Portland Trail Blazers. And then on Friday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns.
And, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Warriors trail by 3. Livingston kicks to Cousins. There's the pass to Iguodala. Now here's Livingston, guarded by Simmons. Got a piece of it.
And the giant wingspan of Bamba strikes again. Just fantastic at spiking shots in a variety of ways.
Grant finds Gordon. Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Jerebko's checked in for Cousins. Kevin Durant comes in for Andre Iguodala. Thompson, he's checked in for Sean Livingston. And Steph Curry subbed in for Quinn Cook. The free throw drops for Gordon.
Didn't have a free throw in the first quarter, but you can see he's starting to play with more energy now. He has a tougher attitude.
Curry outside, and another three for Golden State.
That's a shot that Curry can make in his sleep. Amazing how smooth he is from distance.
Gordon inside, defended by Jerebko. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. The Magic making a switch here. Vucevic is checked in. And Fournier kicks to Ross. Orlando moving the ball around. 6 on the shot clock. Fournier's shot is off.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Durant for 3. Rebound by the Magic. Vucevic has got 5 rebounds tonight. Well, the grimace of pain tells it all. He's hurt, and let's hope he's okay.
And boy, this really doesn't look good. Just the way it happened.
I'm not a doctor, but nothing about that play screams minor injury. Obviously, this could be a real concern.
Isaac's checked in for Orlando. And a chance here now to take a look at the teams that are tops in the league in scoring points off turnovers. Second, the Warriors.
You know, when you make a mistake against this team, they make you pay. I mean, because they convert those turnovers into fast break points, and that really can be demoralizing.
Fournier against Thompson. Now, here's Fournier. D right on him. Pass to Augustine. Curry with the steal. And Curry with the stuff.
I mean, look, he's going end to end. There aren't many guys in this league who can stay matched up with Curry. He's too smart, too quick, too fast, too good.
Now, here's Fournier. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Lakers. Floats one. Augustine, that's good. And the Magic lead by 1. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it seems every season new records are set for the number of three-pointers made and attempted. It's proven to be successful, and, of course, it is a copycat league. It's hard to know why it took so long for everyone to catch on, but now that they have, the effects continue to ripple throughout the league.
They sure have, David. Thank you. No good from Ross. Golden State's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. Thompson passes to Durant. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Oh, he's not happy to pick up a second foul. This early in the game, he's got to be careful now.
On defense, the Magic trailing by 2. 6 to shoot. Thompson finds Durant. Puts up a 3.
Oof, ugly second quarter for him, and now I think he's starting to really force the issue.
Here's Ross. A stupendous finish in traffic. Ross has got the game tied up here for Orlando.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Curry passes to Durant. Hits the three-point bomb.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Now here is Augustine. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Outside Fournier. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Golden State's gone an even 50% from three-point range in the second quarter. 4 for 8. To the inside. And stolen by Fournier. Here's Ross. And Durant sends it back.
But Durant covers a ton of ground with his limp, using his wingspan to wipe away shots.
Thompson with the bucket.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Now here is Augustine. Passes to Vucevic. Over Curry. Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Vucevic.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Curry dishes to Thompson. Pass to Bell. Outside Durant. Off target from three-point range.
A really tough night for him offensively. I mean, I wonder what the score would be if he wasn't so cold from the field.
Isaac kicks to Fournier. Five on the clock. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
This is his second attempt at the line tonight.
And, you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. And so Curry will bring it up for the Golden State Warriors. On the wing, Thompson. Shoots over Fournier. Fournier pulls it down.
The D a little slow to get in his face. They're fortunate it didn't cost him.
Augustine passes to Fournier. Rebounded by Bell. Bell's got rebound number 5 here tonight. To the inside, Jerebko, and then Jerebko with the dunk.
Mr. Everything. Durant can score it, pass it, do what you want to do. He can defend at a high level. So fun watching him play.
Now here is Augustine. Fournier finds Vucevic. Back to Fournier. Now the pass to Isaac. Shot clock at 5. Here's Augustine. Bell with the block. And he recovers it. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Golden State's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Here's Durant. He drains the turnaround jump shot. And now it's a 3-point Warrior lead.
Now, it doesn't take a lot of time for Durant to get his shot off. He's so excellent in the mid-range.
Augustine dishes to Ross. Good D by Bell.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Durant kicks to Curry. Free throw line jump shot. Here's Jerebko. And the layup's good off the glass. Jerebko's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they've been working hard on the offensive glass here in the second. And it's paying dividends. They're getting a lot of second chance points.
Now here's Fournier. He's got 8 inside. Here's Vucevic. Rebounded by Jerebko. Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on. Go Celtics.
You can't root on these, Bill.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Greg, how much fun is it to have Bill with us? Such a prominent voice in sports journalism and never afraid to speak his mind.
You know, oftentimes when you gain popularity, you become a little more conservative, a little more reserved, but not Bill. And that's why he's maintained such a tremendous following.
The Magic have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line. 2 shots. Free throw drops for Vucevic. Some changes for Golden State. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Bell. Iguodala comes in for Jerebko. And it's Livingston in for Klay Thompson. Then for the Magic, Gordon's checked in for Jonathan Isaac. Simmons comes in for Fournier. And it's Grant in for Augustine. And he makes both free throws.
Well, the much vaunted defense of the Warriors took a step back last season, falling from second in the league in defensive rank to 11. But it's tough to nitpick, but I'm sure it's an area they're looking at to address.
Now here's Livingston. 8 points for him. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession. .41 seconds left in the first half. Grant outside. He dishes it to Ross. Kicks it out to Gordon. That will fall for his 7th bucket. 7 for 15 in this game.
He's giving them a nice lift this quarter. The shots are falling for him.
Curry against Grant. Now here's Curry. He's tightly guarded. Shot clock at 6. From deep. That shot missing. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Warriors lead by 1. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Steve Kerr and Coach, what is the offensive approach going to be in the second half?
Well, we just have to do what we do, move the ball and wear them down with our ball movement, our cutting, and our spacing, and set better screens, all the usual stuff.
Yeah, it always seems to work out for you in the long run. Thanks, Steve. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Klay Thompson putting in some serious work for the team tonight. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
Check. What'd you think about Orlando?
Well, they remind me of Arizona. They were flat defensively. They didn't collapse at the end. They allowed over 50% shooting. I expect them to come out much more aggressive in the second half and try to take the lead early on.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. A fantastic game from Aaron Gordon in this one.
And I'll tell you, his work on the blocks in that first half, really impressive.
Oh, yeah, especially how he established great positioning, showing some nice footwork, and really read how the defense was playing.
And it's the Warriors with the ball. It's a one-point game. The tremendous pair of Curry and Klay in the backcourt. Durant is out there with Jerebko, and it's Cousins in at the center locking down the middle. That's the Warriors 5. Here's Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
And so Curry will bring it up for the Golden State Warriors. Dishes it to Durant. Kicks it to Jerebko. And that one, good.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
Chris, when you're watching how a team is put together, what signals are you looking for? that the pieces now are the right ones for that team to be successful?
Yeah, what I look for is balance of talent. Are you heavy loaded at the point guard position? If you have 5 point guards, it's usually not a great balance. But do you have guys that can specialize in their different areas, rebounding, shooting, dribbling, passing? Do you have players that can space the floor that allows you to play the system that you want? Do you have guys that are engaged and have the ego and the pride to want to get stops on the defensive end? So with me, usually I see that it's a balance when you can kind of check off every box that you need to say, yes, we have what we need this season to get where we want to get.
Here's your Rebko. After the Magic pick up 2. Feeds it to Thompson. And Thompson throws it down.
Well, the versatility of Thompson, I mean, you want him to defer to other scorers. He'll do it. You want him to carry the load himself. He can do that too.
Curry against Augustine. To the inside. The shot's good from Fournier. Fournier's got 10.
Rock solid start for him. I mean, they're 3 for 3 since coming out of the locker room.
Curry against Augustine. Free throw line jump shot. Shot is good off the back rim and in. And that's 11 points for Steph Curry.
Nice and steady so far in the second half. They're 3 for 4.
Outside Fournier. He can't get that one to fall. Good D by Thompson. And they're moving it up. Jerebko kicks to Durant. Over Ross. Again, Golden State.
They made the most of their halftime adjustments. They're shooting 80% so far in the second half.
Augustine passes to Gordon. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. He can't get it to go. Warriors leading by 4. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
As off the mark as he has been, they're a little lucky to be in front.
Now, here's Fournier. 10 points for him. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Durant finds Thompson. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Durant's got his 4th assist in this one.
Now, you got to respect the interior game of Thompson. I mean, he's confident going right up with it.
Now here is Augustine. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. It's his first trip to the line.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Two shots.
First one falls for him. Both free throws good from Augustine.
And once he gets into a groove like that, you can just count him.
Warriors have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Up top, Curry, headed by Augustine. Curry kicks to Jerebko. Clock at 6. Thompson outside. Shoots over Fournier. Thompson misses. The Magic have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Augustine passes to Gordon for the tie, and it's good on the way in. Vucevic has got the game tied up here for Orlando.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Here's Curry, good on the 13-footer. Curry's got 13.
They've leaned on him tonight, and he's delivered with some great shooting.
Pass to Vucevic. lays it up off the glass.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Thompson finds Curry. Buries it down low. Curry's got 6 in the quarter.
And Curry is stronger than most people think. He knows how to keep his balance through contact.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. You know, when it comes to ongoing contract negotiations, C-Web, how distracting did you find it for those players and for yourself to deal with all that going on?
It can be very distracting if you allow it to take over. What I would suggest for players in those situations, whether you're a restricted free agent or a free agent, I would give you one piece of advice, and I think LeBron has epitomized this. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about what team or what pending teams or what city you like to go swimming in or you and your wife visit in the summer, because all that does is create confusion. And all it does is send a message to fans and other players that maybe you're thinking about something that you can't control at that time. And so usually I think you should go introspective. You should work as hard as you can to improve and to get better. But that is something that definitely can distract you. And so hopefully you have a great layer of people that can be barriers from kind of the outside noise. The contract is going to be what it's going to be, and the only way you can continue to prove your worth is by going out there executing every day on the court.
Good stuff. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
Well, sometimes it just takes an opportunity in the NBA, and Aaron Gordon has made the most of it. Since taking over that power forward role full time, he has shown remarkable improvement. Plays with more confidence and aggression on offense and has transformed himself as a player.
Okay, time now for an injury report. We've got a chance now to check up on Mohamed Bamba's status. David.
Kevin, I caught up with the head athletic trainer for the Magic. He told me that in his opinion, the injury does not appear to be too serious. The season is still very young, but that is bad news to get at any point of the year. We'll see how the team responds without him, Kevin.
All right, David, thanks for checking in and letting us know how he's doing.
And let's just hope that he doesn't have any setbacks during his recovery.
Fingers crossed, and hopefully it's nothing but good news from now on when David gives us updates on him.
Here's Curry. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And for Gordon, in his first full season as a starter, he instantly became a star in the league.
And when he was taken 4th overall, this was the type of player the team was hoping he'd become. His outside shot has improved by leaps and bounds and always plays with speed and athleticism. And now I think he's got a much more fully rounded game, which makes him dangerous.
And he knocks down the first one.
Yeah, you know, Coach Steve Kerr may seem to have a laid-back demeanor, but knowing him personally, I tell you what, he's fiery. He's intense, and he wants to win. When tempers flare, don't be surprised to see him smashing clipboards and letting loose on the sideline.
Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for the Magic. Simmons comes in for Ross. Good on both. And playing for the Bulls, Kerr famously got into a fight with a teammate, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he has that competitive spirit, that edge you need to succeed in this game. Great people skills, sure. He's not a pushover.
No good from Simmons.
And as he squares up from mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
Now, here's Vucevic. And the rejection by Cousins.
And one of the things Cousins has continued to develop, his defense. Really makes an effort to swat that shot away.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
On the free throw, no good. And Jonathan Isaac making progress, but he was drafted knowing he had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and you really shouldn't try and compare Isaac to the rest of his draft class. He's going to be on a different timeline as far as his development goes. Might take longer for him to be ready, but the payoff, man, could be huge as his ceiling is really high.
Now, here's Grant. At the elbow, Vucevic. It's Fournier on the wing over Thompson. Another miss by Orlando. And so it's Iguodala. He'll bring it up for Golden State. A 6-point lead. A three-pointer is right on target.
And the quick trigger on full display. Thompson needs only a little breathing room to fire.
Grant outside. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Now let's check out and highlight the best defenses in the NBA. The Warriors, 4th.
This is a team that takes pride on the defensive side of the floor. I mean, they play hard and they play together. They are a tough group to score on.
Cook kicks to Thompson. Passes it to Cousins. Back to Thompson. Iguodala outside. Out to Thompson. Pass to Cousins. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. Last season, C-Web, the league implemented rules for resting starters. Has that had any effect, in your opinion, so far?
I'm not a big fan of it. I think that this should be something that's held in the locker room, that if you're a player and you're hurt or if you're tired, that you and your coach should be able to talk about it, and definitely he manage your body the way that a coach should. But I don't think that this should be something that's just out on the table that I can take a rest day. It's just never been in the game. This is a new precedent. But I do love what the commissioner and the NBA has tried to do, is address the issue, because it was getting out of hand, resting players, especially on national televised games. If I'm a fan and I'm coming there to watch my favorite player and you're not playing there tonight, and I've saved up for these tickets for months, gotten good grades, done everything my dad has said to do, and he's taking me to the game and you don't show up?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a big letdown.
That's Sam. He gets stolen by Livingston. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Off target with his 3. The Magic trail by 10. Here's Isaac. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And a chance here to take a look at the numbers for Klay Thompson. Putting up about 24 points per, just over 2 steals and 5 rebounds. And you love his anticipation. All those steals, he's always a step ahead, reading plays before they develop.
His nose for the ball has never been better. I mean, Greg, his transition defense really stands out. If you get careless in the open court, he'll make you pay.
That one is off.
And Isaac really continues to intrigue you. A 6'10 forward who's just got great agility and can be a nightmare in transition.
He hits the second from the line. And here's Livingston. 8 points for him. Iguodala outside. The dish to Bell. Back to Iguodala. He kicks to Cousins. Here's Bell. Great D that time from Vucevic. The Magic trail by 9. And it's Grant in the corner. Vucevic down low. Cousins is there. Thompson outside. Back to Livingston. In the corner, Iguodala with it. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cousins.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Vucevic. 8th in rebounding. And with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands, and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And he's a top 10 rebounder this year for good reason. He's unbelievably driven, and he competes with you for the entire game. Now here's Simmons, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Grant, right side. And the rejection by Cousins. The shot from 20 feet away, and the jumper falls for him. Cousins has got 5 points now this quarter.
Oh, that just shows the layers of Cousins' game. When he's pulling up and knocking in jumpers, the D is in trouble.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
They got to start guarding him out to about 28 feet because he's killing them from long range.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Take a look at the Warriors. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And checking out the Lakers, 5 games behind.
And for the Warriors, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
Yeah, Greg, already the focus has started to turn to the postseason and what they need to do to make a run at the championship.
Here's Vucevic. That shot, no good. Nice D from Cousins. Thompson right side. Got a piece of it. And it's out of bounds. The Warriors able to retain possession here. DJ Augustine's checked in for Jaren Grant.
DJ Augustine.
Thompson in the post. Guarded by Simmons. The 10-footer. He makes his 9th shot of the game. He has only missed 4.
This is what size in the backcourt gives you. You can put Thompson anywhere on the court. Give him the ball. Just let him make the play.
The pass to Fournier. Kicks it to Vucevic. Outside, Simmons. Over Thompson. That's good, and the Warrior lead is kept back down to 11. Some big points there from Simmons. Golden State's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the 3rd quarter. There's a minute 47 left to play in the 3rd. Livingston passes to Cousins. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Now here is Augustine. 6 points for him. And Fournier kicks to Vucevic. Here's Cousins. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Big boy strength right there, Kevin. Big boy move from Cousins right there. He feasts off of contact when he's coming up with the shot.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
And that 84% free throw percentage is a testament to all the hard work he's put in on the line.
And the Warriors making a change here. Durant's checked in.
What makes Cousins successful? You have to be willing to challenge people night in and night out at both ends on the floor.
And Augustine kicks to Isaac. Vucevic against Cousins. Vucevic down low. He's got 16. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for 1 more at the line.
1 shot. He's one of the guys having a solid game for them, but as a whole, they've been lacking.
This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game.
He's been doing really nice work at the line. 83%.
One shot.
The free throw drops for Vucevic. 59 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Livingston kicks to Thompson. It's Durant on the wing. Kevin Durant in the summer of 2017 took a $10 million discount to help the Warriors retain guys like Iguodala and Livingston. This summer, a new deal.
Well, for a superstar like him, the max salary is already a discount. I mean, Kevin Durant deserves top dollar, and with a team moving into a new arena next year, they can afford it.
The first one falls.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
And both free throws good for Durant. You know, Greg, you hear that since Kevin Durant moved to the Bay Area, he's wasted no time making connections and investments in Silicon Valley.
It's interesting. He's reined in his endorsements by over half, but he's so inquisitive. I think meeting these tech luminaries and learning from them was part of the allure of the Golden State.
Here is Livingston following the three-pointer by Orlando. Over Augustine. Livingston, that's good. Livingston's got 10.
Yeah, no, almost any player left that wide open is going to bury that shot. This is the league. That's poor defensive work.
And Simmons kicks to Vucevic. Back to Simmons. And Durant sends it back.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
With 4 seconds on the clock, Cousins lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Cousins has got 12 points now in the quarter. Klay Thompson has been leading the charge for the Golden State Warriors. They've leaned on him for offense, and he hasn't let them down. He's now up to 23 points today. Back right after this. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
I mean, well, if you're the coaching staff, I mean, you're pumped up. This highlight will not only make it on the TV, it'll make it into the film session tomorrow.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for Orlando. They trail by 16. When this game is finished, they'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. They're in the midst of this long 6-game road trip. That will be game 4. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Magic. Augustine and Simmons are the guard tandem. Inside, we have Gordon and Vucevic. And it's Ross in at the 3 slot. Warriors leading by 13. Livingston kicks to Durant. He dishes it to Thompson. It's good. Thompson's got 12 points here in the second half.
A good size for the 2 position, but Klay's been able to compete and play through the contact.
Pass to Ross. Here's Vucevic. Augustine in the corner. From outside the arc, and the 3 ball is good. Augustine's got 6 points in the quarter.
And look, the D has to be talking out there. They can't make threes that easy for them.
Now, here's Livingston, guarded by Augustine. Now Livingston passes to Jerebko. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Stephen Curry's checked in for Golden State.
One shot.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Pass to Thompson. There's the pass to Durant. Back to Thompson. Kicks it out to Iguodala. Clock at 4. His three-pointers off the mark.
He's done almost no damage from three-point range in this game. No threes in this half and only one in the first.
Augustine, that's good.
Oh, he's been dominant this quarter. I mean, he's determined to prevent the lead from getting any bigger.
Pass to Jerebko. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Durant, the pass to Jerebko. And then Jerebko with the dunk.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Well, that's just a good example of why the score is what it is. I mean, they need to protect the rim a lot better than that.
How about this run they're in the midst of, on the verge of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead?
Terrific D at one end and some clutch shots at the other. Great stretch for them. Well, no matter what, he's always going to be one of the most dangerous men on the court.
Steph Curry, of course, a two-time MVP. If there's one area he can still improve on, though, Chris, I think Coach Kerr would say it's limiting his turnovers.
Well, we forget Steph was a shooting guard up until his final season in college. I mean, he made incredible strides as a ball handler, but that recognition of what passes to avoid still developed.
Well, Steph Curry, widely regarded as the best shooter in the history of the game. He's been so successful playing point guard in the NBA at times. I think we forget that he transitioned from playing shooting guard in his younger days.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. You know, Greg, a lot of players can't make that switch from shooting guard to point guard. You've got to give Steph a lot of credit.
He's worked tirelessly. I mean, we've all seen those pregame ball handling drills. He's still prone to a careless turnover or two, but on the plus side, he rebounds like a shooting guard. And today's point guards are expected to score much more than in days past.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Steve Clifford went over with his guys during the break. He said, hey, we're still in this thing. We just have to trust each other out there. Be aggressive, stay together, and play as a team. We're coming back and winning this one. Pretty confident words, Kevin.
One shot.
We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. He kicks to Durant. Curry against Augustine. There's the triple. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. To the paint. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And a moment here to check out who the Golden State Warriors have coming up. On Thursday, they'll be matching up against Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors. And then on Saturday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons.
And for the matchup with the Cavs, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that team.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Gordon. And so Curry will bring it up for the Golden State Warriors. Kicks it to Jerebko. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. The Magic trail by 8.
Yeah, that one put them over the limit, and it's so early that if they're not careful, this could turn into a parade at the free throw line.
2 shots.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Gordon. Gordon hits both of them.
And the free throw shooting has been excellent tonight. And how often do we get to say that?
Curry finds Durant. At the elbow, it's Iguodala. Knocked away. Ross against Durant. 5 to shoot. And then Durant with the jam.
Durant is a master on the drive, muscling his way past the resistance of the D.
The Magic trail by 8. Augustine with it. Dishes to Ross. Gordon kicks to Ross. At the tip, and it's put back in by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 14 points now in the second half.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Now here's Durant. Basket number 5 goes in. He's now 5 of 12 from the floor.
And almost 7 feet tall. I mean, Durant is a fantastic interior scorer. He uses his height well.
Right side, Gordon. 13 feet away. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Iguodala's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Curry. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And it's a 10-point Warrior lead.
I always enjoy watching the chef go to work. I mean, he's a pure scorer. He fills it up from everywhere.
Augustine passes to Vucevic. Simmons left side. Passes it to Gordon. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Shooting 2.
That free throw missing. He hits the 2nd from the line. Here's Curry. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Vucevic.
Oh, man, the shiftiness of Steph, the quick trigger. Hard got to defend without fouling.
At the line for your Warriors, Stephen Curry. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
I expect to see Bigfoot outside the building if Curry misses 1 or 2 free throws in the game. That's how good he is at the line.
Stephen Curry hits them both.
And they've been so steady at the line in the second half, gotten a good volume of free throws and converting at a high clip.
Now here is Augustine, and Steph Curry with the foul. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Augustine. Second free throw, no good. Warriors leading by 10. Curry kicks to Durant. Pass to Thompson. In the corner, Iguodala with it. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got 3 assists tonight.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Curry finds Iguodala. And too long on the shot. And so it's Ross. He brings it up for the Magic. It's a 13-point game. And there's the pass to Vucevic. Banked in off the glass. Vucevic has got 9 points now in the quarter.
It's all clicked into place for him this quarter. He's not missed a single shot.
Curry against Augustine. Curry kicks to Thompson. And it's Thompson with the jam.
Oh, man, an area where Thompson has improved, a quicker first step on the drive.
The Magic trail by 13. Now here is Augustine. Pass to Vucevic. Gordon with no one around. And the 3 off target. Golden State's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the 4th. Launches it. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Durant. Durant's got his 7th assist here tonight.
And the 3-pointers is becoming a weapon for him now. You can see it. I mean, this is his 2nd of this half, 3rd overall.
Now here's Vucevic over Iguodala. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Damian Jones is checked in for Andre Iguodala. Evan Fournier is checked in for the Magic. On offense, here are the Warriors. They're on a 16-6 run. On the wing, Jones. Vucevic defending. Durant attacking.
You got to enjoy watching Durant finish strong. A ferocious competitor who's always looking to jam it when he has room to.
The Magic trail by 18. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And Vucevic kicks to Ross. 6 to shoot. No good that time. Excellent D that time from Jones. Here's your Repko. The 3-pointer, no good. The Magic have gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the 4th, sinking the majority of their shots. Pass to Augustine. That's tipped. In the corner, it's Gordon. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine. Augustine's got 4 assists in the game. Now here's Curry. Goes up on the high post. Misses off the left iron.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Well, I like the decision-making, though. I mean, that's a shot you want to keep taking. I mean, this D is a joke. It's way too passive. They got to get a body on him when he's on his way to the bucket.
And Thompson kicks to Curry. Back to Thompson. The tray. Knocks down the 3-ball. Thompson's got 17 points here in the second half.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first 2 quarters, though.
Now here is Augustine. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by Golden State. Durant's got his 6th rebound on the night. He kicks it to Thompson. Here's Curry, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. TJ Augustine picks one up. First free throw is good, and the Warriors making a change here. Looney's checked in. And so he makes both from the line. And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Magic. They trail by 18. To the middle, and it's Gordon missing. Golden State's gone over and over to the three-point shot in the fourth quarter. 4 of 9.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Warriors.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Steph Curry.
Well, the big thing was if he had an open look, he drained it. He didn't let any of those easy chances get away from him.
Now here's Curry. 6 on the shot clock. Over Augustine. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And Orlando has possession. Outside Fournier. To stop the run. At the elbow, it's Gordon. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. And here is Curry. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. They double team Curry. Thompson passes to Curry. Here's Looney, guarded by Augustine. Thompson surveying the floor. No good with the triple. Here's Augustine. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Andre. I know if you could bottle a game like tonight, you would. But what's the key as you look forward to these upcoming games?
The key is just not letting all the outside distractions, get in the way of letting us do what we want to do. So we got to come in, play tough, and guys be ready to play.
Great performance tonight, Andre. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.